but at the same time, like everyone is in the end entitled to their own opinion, and people are not very happy with people's opinions about it, whether it be one way or the other. And so, if you don't want to be caught in the middle of all that, I would just stay out of it or keep your views to yourself. Yeah, staying neutral, staying Switzerland is probably the best way to go about things. Can you guys see my screen by chance? It's showing an ETH chart right now. Okay, perfect. So here on ETH, guys, I am looking for the scenario where ETH pretty much comes up, hits this supply zone, chops around a bit, and then takes off potentially. That would be ideal because in the end, that would just make this an overall pretty much a deviation of our upper range here. The reason why I think this is a possible scenario too is that from this wick low to this high, well, I guess it's not popping up on this exchange, but on some other exchanges, let me pull up the ETH USDT Binance chart because that one might have hit the golden pocket. See, yeah, this one did hit the golden pocket yesterday. Here's the thing, guys. I actually prefer to chart a lot of times on Binance now. Prefer to Bybit because I find that levels are actually way more respected on the Binance chart. Just something I've noticed. But yeah, I would like to see this chop up here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think last time I changed the quality to it was like a low quality. I had to do it. Yeah, that's blurry. 1 second. Should look better now. Let me know if you guys can see it a little better. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It was a manual change I did last time for a certain stream, so it would, should be good now. Oh, no problem at all. So yeah, I want to see this chop sort of happen on ETH. I want to see us reclaim 25.52 on the hourly. Overall, I would like to see a push to the upside and then a retest. That would be the ideal scenario here. No, you're not disturbing, dude. No worries at all. And then taking a look at BTC here, we had a nice reaction from the sweep of these lows, guys. So that was a beautiful reaction there. Um, Overall, what I will say is that if we don't push right now to 61,693, then I personally think that a good long opportunity comes a little lower at 56,244. If you guys aren't already long BTC from the sweep, then be I would not recommend you guys try to jump in on a move right now. Not gonna lie. I think right now you're kind of in no man's zone. If you try to jump in along right now, I think you could probably get wrecked. So I'd be waiting for this zone here around 56,227. I really do think we revisit 61,660 before we push down to these lows if we are going to push down to these lows. I don't think we're going to push down to these lows like immediately right now. I think we do hit 61s before these lows. Yeah, so the volume indicator is pretty cool. Let me draw it for you myself. Go to the left on TradingView, go to projection here on the side, and go to fixed range volume profile. Hit that, and then I pull it from the left to the right always. Looks something like this. These are the default settings too, so you don't have to change anything. Yes. So pretty much the thing that I like about it is this is the idea, guys. You are looking to essentially take longs at the value area low of your range and take shorts at the value area high. So yesterday, once we lost value area high of our range and we bearishly retested here, this would have been a good short opportunity. So it's pretty much just a game of rotations here. You look for longs at the value area low, you look for shorts at the value area high, and the point of control, I don't usually take trades off of it, but I do take profits at it. So if I took a long here at this value area low, I'd look to take profits here at the point of control. So you pretty much draw it from a range. You start at your range, like the beginning of it, if that makes sense. So for here, the way that I would really consider the beginning of this range is whenever you could either start it pretty much like at these same highs, like you see these highs up here. I would start it about right there, or I would pull it all the way across to the very bottom wick down here. Personally, I lean towards doing it at like the bottom wick, if that makes sense. So like hit your low. So I'm going to take my pull from that low to where we are now. Price doesn't move quickly outside visible range volume. Doesn't price? Oh yeah. So pretty much like what he's saying is if you get out of this choppy range, do you push strongly to the upside here, and then do you push strongly to the downside? Yes, you do. So the idea here is that, you know, if your value low gets lost, you're probably going to come down and revisit this bottom zone and fill out the volume, take a pretty big push down here. Yeah, good question. The VOC can act resistance, as you can see, like in the middle here. Like you do have a lot of choppiness around that zone. But here's the thing, like this is where the most volume is traded in the zone. As you can see, like you have a lot of candles here above and below it, like a lot of price action within this zone. So it makes it difficult to try to take trades in this zone too. Because if you're trying to take the trades in this zone, then you're pretty much like you're trading the mid chop of the channel. So that's not easy. All right. So we looked at BTC ETH. Let's look at something like Aave, because I saw this was one of the stronger coins out there. So I thought it'd be nice to take a look. Get on the 4 hour here. So Aave came down and retested pretty much the top side of your range here. And so what my idea here is on Aave is I really want to see 117 hold if this is going to push to the upside here. So if we are wanting to see this go to the upside and push more to the upside, then I would really want to see Aave stay above 116 or so, or 117. If you lose this 117 zone, then I think you could even make your way all the way down to range lows again. And you can take a volume profile here too, guys. So in this case, your value area high is actually sitting at 110. So actually might be I think you might get a nice move from this zone here. Since you already hit these lows, I would look at it something like this. Something like that. If we got another push down. All right, guys. What other coins do you want to look at? Yeah, so for Rune, I did update it all on my channel. Second DCA filled yesterday. I put a new take profit one and that hit this morning. So definitely keep an eye on my channel. Any good SR indicators? I mean, not necessarily. I'm not really like there's not really a good way to look at support resistance like horizontals in terms of like an indicator. Yeah, I got stop break even on Rune after the TP one. Besides like this fixed range volume profile, there's not like a whole lot of yeah, like I said, like SR indicators necessarily that I use. Taking a look at Solana here. Pretty much two areas of interest I have on Sol. I think Sol at this point is probably at least going to come down to 137 or so. So this is long area number one that I have in mind. And then long area number two is down here at the golden pocket and daily level. In the case where price has already moved from value area high and value area low, do you trade the retest on value area high and low? Yeah. I'll trade the retest as well. So like if you, for example, like on BTC, when I was talking about it, like losing the value area high, the short would have been the retest of it after it was lost on the hourly. And then something like BNB here. So that was our scalp long from yesterday. Stopped on that one. That one was pretty rough, not gonna lie. Here on BNB now. BNB didn't actually come down to sweep those lows from today yet. I don't like that BNB just it just pretty much made equal highs here. So at this point, you really want to see it start to show some strength near support resistance here. It could theoretically come all the way down to the bottom of this box, bounce, and then just play out this range some more. It's really like only a problem on BNB if you lose the bottom here of this box. Could even come down for a third tap of this support resistance here. It could drive down, take the liquidity, close above, and then push from there. So this would be the first long I'm looking at. A push down, reclaim of 500 or so, and then long from there, or the bottom of the zone. More confluence here at the bottom of the zone, though. So render pretty much looks good anywhere above 5.7. Problems on render start to happen if you lose 5.7. So pretty much like I could see it coming up to 7.8 as long as it doesn't lose those lows. If it does lose those lows, then I think it's probably going to come retest at least 4.38. I'll take a look at big time here. I know rats looks really bad. So, oh man. This does not look good, guys. Big time looks bad. Like this one, it's probably coming down to retest these lows at the very least. The trend is still down on this. So if you wanted a short, all I would be doing on the short is something like that. If you reclaim 0.74 on the 4 hour, then I would get out of the short. But if you're still below that, then this thing's going lower. I actually did have a look at injective just a little bit ago. If you come down to these lows on injective, then I would be interested in taking a trade there. All right. I will look at two more coins, guys. I don't know if Ponky will show up on TradingView. Let's see. It does. Take a look at it. This does not look good. I mean, I guess it could bounce from 268, but in terms of market structure, like this lower lows, lower high thing, best case scenario here is you form a bottom there, form a higher high, and try something like this. But right now, trend is not your friend. Right now, this looks like it's just going to go lower. That's the thing, guys. Like, I every single alt that I'm looking at is going to look exactly the same. Everything put in lower highs, pretty much. like pretty much like everything. Yeah, exactly. Once Bitcoin starts doing its thing and pushes to the upside, then we can have our fun with altcoins. But for now, I mean, it's just difficult. Render is like the only thing that looks good. Like this hasn't fully retraced the pump yet, and it's holding SR. And me look at all those other coins, I would focus on stronger ones like this. It's true, man. BTC's sluggish and dying, then altcoins aren't going to do well. Here's one that looks good. Helium. Helium is actually showing strength in this market. And this one looks like it's going to push back up to 9.6 again. So it's hard to strategize a trade unless, see what the RR is here, but it's already pumped, so I don't think it's going to be very good. 3, RR's 3, and it's just like I like 4 or 5 RR setups at least when the market is uncertain. If the market is pushing to the upside, then higher risk setups will more than likely work out. But yeah, this one, I don't know. My rune long hit TP1 today. Everything's in my channel on that. So pretty much my opinion on BTC is like either it chops and goes to 61.5 soon from the sweep of these lows, or it loses the sweep of these lows and it comes all the way down to the value area low of our range here, around 56K. Yeah, I would look in my channel for my DCA method, man. For those that are taking my trades just recently, I think they haven't seen my DCA method before. I double down on each of my DCAs. So, like, pretty much like if I have 3 entries, I'll go in with like, say I have $1,000 of margin, I'll go in with my first entry with $150 of that margin. My next entry, I'll go in with $300 of margin, and my last entry, I'll go in with $550 of margin. So I pretty much increase my margin every single time. If you're not shorting, if you're not playing the downtrend in the market, then I would not be trying to trade. I would be very careful trying to trade times like these. Excuse me, guys. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, the last thing I'll look at is Rune. I'll show you pretty much like if I were in your situation, what I would be doing at this point. If your entry is 4.4, oh, well, dude, dude, I don't understand. Like, why didn't you DCA at all? Did you forget or did you just not feel like it? I'm not trying to flame you or anything. I'm just trying to find your reasoning. Was looking at D I was looking to DC at lower. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, man, I understand. Like Bitcoin's dumping, you want to be looking for lower, but at the same time, like it's kind of hard to justify that situation. I got you, man. I got you. The best bet is to get out of long. If in my opinion, if you're if you're in profit on longs and things like that, I would be looking to get out of them break even if you've already like taken profits. Like definitely in an environment like this, have your stops break even. Not like immediately after you take a trade. That's not what I mean. I just mean like if you're in profits and you're up, take your profits and then move your stops break even. Just scalp. You're in ARB. Did you take profits on ARB? I think it hit like three of them for me. For your DCA, you start lower, then increase with. Yeah. If DCA didn't hit, I do not add to the position. I know you're not in very heavy if if the DCAs didn't hit, but at the same time, like that's just the risk you take with the method is having a potential and good entry. However, you're not in very heavy. But the thing is that your port grows slowly over time. The goal is not to just get maximum gains, immediately, guys. You want to have a port growth slowly and slowly. All right, guys. That'll do it for me today. I will catch you guys in a little bit, but I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Don't get too crazy with your trades. Just be careful with things, and I'll catch you guys for another stream next week, okay? In my opinion, Rune looks like it's coming back to RTP1. I would at least take some off the table there. It's hard to tell you what to, bro. It's hard to tell you what to do if you're not gonna follow my method. Like I don't know, really, I don't really know what to tell you because you're not really taking my trade if you're not DCAing at all. So like, do I tell you to take a loss? Like, all I can do is say like you're at resistance coming up, and if you're at resistance, then you could get rejected there. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. That's not how this works. I'm sorry, bro. I just tell you guys what I'm doing. That's how this works. Because then you're giving financial advice if I tell you what to do. So it's not